Why marketing sucks and why it is bringing in bad leads. So, if you are a salesperson, FYI, this video is for salespeople. So, if you are not a salesperson, please go ahead and forward this video to your favorite salesperson in your life. So, few things are more frustrating than getting on a call or having a meeting with a prospect only to find out that they are interested in something that was discontinued months ago, right? So now you hang up, you get out of the meeting, you're frustrated, you're counting all the minutes that were wasted on that call or in that meeting that was destined to go nowhere. There's no way you were ever going to sell that client. And you're like, why? Why is marketing promoting this thing that we don't sell anymore? So, my question to you is, did you tell marketing that you don't sell that anymore? Because that's a pretty key piece of the process. Now, if you're a salesperson, chances are that bit of communication wasn't actually on you, that was on leadership, which is a topic for a whole other video. So we're going to leave that alone. But I do want to talk about how marketing approaches these things and what they're doing and why and what they have to work with and how you can help them do their jobs better because you have so much to offer. You have so much information that they would love to get their hands on and you're not sharing it with them. So, my guess is if you're watching this video, you're not sharing it with them. So, step one, communicate the new direction to marketing, right? So marketing is given a whole bunch of information on the company, on the brand, on the products and services that they sell. They might be given some information. They're probably given some information on the ideal client profile. Who's that person that you really, you can sell to. If you just get in a room with them, if you just get on the phone with them, you can sell them this product, this service offering, whatever it is that you are paid to sell, just get in the room with these people or on the phone with them, you can sell. That's who marketing is trying to figure out, who fits that ideal client profile. What's the problem that you're solving for them? How are they thinking about that problem? What are they doing when they're looking for information on possible solutions to that problem? And what's the process they tend to go through before they ever reach out to someone like you? So that is marketing's job. When everything is working smoothly, marketing should absolutely be getting those ideal clients and basically delivering them wrapped in a bow on your doorstep, right? Ready for you to convert. When everything is working smoothly, that's what happens. But if leadership and or you are not communicating with marketing, that's when things go wonky because marketing thinks they're doing everything right. They have taken the information that they're given, they've analyzed all the data, they think they know who their ideal client is, they think they know the content that resonates with them. So they're out there creating and pumping up the marketing engine, getting all that content out there in theory in front of their ideal clients, but maybe in front of people you don't want to be talking to. Marketing needs to know that. If marketing is bringing in crappy leads, are you telling them that they brought in crappy leads? Are you giving them constructive criticism? I don't mean yelling at them. I don't mean bitching them out. I don't mean hanging up the phone and complaining to your partner about how marketing doesn't do their job and not actually talking to marketing. I mean, going back to marketing and saying, hey, we got this lead. Here's their name. Here's all the information I got about them. Here's how they said they found us. This was not a good prospect for us, and here's why. Because they said these things, because they weren't interested in these things, because they use this language, because their thought process was such and such. Either maybe they're not ready for you, maybe they'll be a good prospect in a few months or in a few years, but they're not now. Marketing needs to know that. The more information you can give marketing on why it was a bad lead, the better able they will be to adjust the content they created, the language that they use, the process they lead client prospects through before they reach out to you, so they can make sure the prospects that do reach out to you are high quality prospects. That is their job, but they need that information from you in order to be able to do that job. Also, the more information you give them as far as like, here's who this person was, they might be able, and here's, the last step before they reached out to me, they said they found this online or they filled out this form or whatever it is. Marketing should be able to trace that specific prospect and be like, all right, they found this and then they went here and then they went over here and then they reached out. If they can trace that path that prospect took to reaching out to you, they should be able to pinpoint what went wrong. And then they have the data they need to adjust the content, whether it's the language they use or the topics they're covering or where they're promoting that content. That should give them an idea of what needs to change so that they are bringing in better leads and not filling your pipeline with those crappy leads that are just wasting your time. So, that being said, what are some other ways you can help marketing? Because, like I said, marketing gets a bunch of information and they take that information and the data that they're giving and they go out and they hunt out more data and they analyze that data to try and come up with an ideal client, a few different ideal client profiles, and then a marketing strategy, a content funnel, all that good stuff. Again, ideally, to bring in those leads so that by the time they reach your doorstep, they're nice, toasty, warm leads that are ready to buy. When everything is going well, that's what should happen. But if that's not what's happening, it's probably because marketing is not getting that information from you. On the one hand, like I said, those leads that are not good leads that you're getting, tell marketing about that. But the other thing is, like I said, marketing gets a bunch of data. Marketing loves data. We love our numbers. I can't believe I'm saying this as a wordsmith. 10-year-old Allison would be appalled. But we do. We love our numbers. We love working with the numbers because we love the story that they tell us. But nothing beats actually talking to clients and prospects and having those conversations and hearing about their problems and hearing about how they think about those problems and the steps they took to solve that problem, where they are in the process, what's holding them back. All of that is marketing gold. And marketing doesn't have that unless you give it to them. You can either tell them, you can update them, you can say, hey, I'm having these conversations. I keep getting these questions over, these objections over and over again. When marketing knows that, then they can insert that into their content. They can insert that into their marketing strategy. So they are answering those questions. They are addressing those objections before the prospect ever reaches out to you. And that makes that sales call so much faster because now you can skip all of that. You don't have to answer the same question over and over and over. You don't have to go through the same objections over and over and over because the content has already done that for you. Now they know that your company is the best company. They're ready to work with you. So they reach out and all you have to do is get them to sign on the dotted line. How easy is that? But only if you tell marketing what's up. If you don't convey that information to marketing, whether it's a meeting with them, whether it's having conversations with marketing, whether it's recording those conversations you're having and either just giving them directly the recordings, giving the recordings to marketing, transcribing those recordings and sending them over to marketing. You can even have AI just like pull out the juicy bits of those conversations and send them over to marketing. So they're just really getting a distilled version of that conversation. Especially if you're getting the same questions over and over, if you're getting the same objections over and over, let marketing know that. And AI will be really good at sussing out, oh yeah, we keep hearing, oh yeah, this is a theme. Yeah, let's tell marketing about this. So constructive criticism beats whining. So don't just bitch, actually provide that constructive criticism. And then make sure that your marketing and your sales are actually aligned because when they are, it's a beautiful thing. Marketing brings in leads, nurtures and educates those leads for you so you don't have to, and then goes, here you go, and presents it to you and it all tied up in a neat little bow. All you got to do is convert that lead and it's so much easier. And I know this because I've done it. I have my own company. I do all my own marketing and I do all my own sales. I have literally had prospects upsell themselves on sales calls all by themselves. I swear, I'm not very good at sales. It's not something that I'm doing. It is the marketing that I did. And I know that it's because they quoted something in one of my blog posts while they were upselling themselves. And I was like, oh, so they read all of that. So I have seen the process my prospects and my clients have gone through before they ever reach out to me. And I can tell you it is So much easier converting those leads versus someone I met at a networking event who maybe has a vague idea of what marketing is and thinks maybe they need it, but they're not really sure that it's right for them and they're not sure that I'm the right person. I have so much more work to do with that kind of a prospect versus someone who saw me speak, has watched my YouTube videos, followed me, subscribed to my newsletter, read my blog posts. So much easier to convert those leads. But it's because, again, when I'm in networking events, when I'm talking to clients and prospects, if a question comes up, if a concern comes up and I haven't addressed it in a piece of content, I'm going to go, oh, you know what? That's a good question. I should write a blog post about that. And I do. And I go and I write a blog post and I make a video like this and I put it out on social media and in my newsletter. And I will send it directly to the person who asked the question if it is, relevant. If I think it's relevant to them and say, hey, you asked this question, here's this piece of content answering that question. Let me know what you think. It's because I'm the one-stop shop, right? So I have an advantage there. But if you are working in a company where there is sales and there's marketing and ne'er the twain shall meet, right? They're off doing their own thing and they don't talk to each other. That is when you need my sales and marketing alignment workshop, because that is what I do. I help companies. It's like marriage counseling for your sales and marketing teams, right? Let's bring them together. Let's have them talk to each other so they're actually communicating and breaking past those misconceptions. So they each understands what the other is doing and how they can help them and how they can make their jobs easier. Each can make the other's job easier. It's a beautiful thing. It's like working in lockstep and everything is easier for both teams and you both look awesome and you do your jobs better and the company makes more money. It's a win-win-win for everyone. So if you have any questions about that, please do reach out to me. You can get more information about that. There is a video about that here on my YouTube channel. You can also find more information about it over on my website, which is AV, as in my initials, Allison Verhalen. That is avwritingservices.com. And you can reach me directly at info@avwritingservices.com. That's it. Have a great week and happy blogging, everyone.